Alright, Bory, this is, I think this video is just going to be for you here, since you're the only one concerned at this point. So, I'm coming up with about 140 thou overhang. Okay, so you can see the pad right there. Alright? You can see that lip right there, that's the edge of the, right there. That's the edge of the, which does almost line up exactly with the circle. It's just inside that radius there just a little bit. Yeah, I think you can see that. Kind of hard to tell through the viewfinder, but anyway, they're almost the same. But anyway, there's a good 150 thou here to move that in. I haven't been able to measure it yet, but anyway, the challenge is there's not 150 thou here. Okay, I could get about 100 thou, but what I'm thinking is these tabs, and there's another one over here, all they do is register the brake rotor, or the pads at the bottom. So what I'm seriously considering here, and it's kind of up to you, and basically what I do is, I think if these calipers are identical, same color and everything, I can modify these, ship you these, and then you can just send me yours. If yours are different or changed in any way already, then send me yours and I will trim that off. And basically what that does is that means that by trimming the OD of the rotor adapter by about 75 thou, that should put it in right about there. And then I can trim, geez, easy, another 50, 60, well, another 80 thou is what I would need to take. So I could probably take a good 80 thou off both. Now these holes, the bolt head doesn't go on the top. The bolt head goes underneath. These will just be threaded holes and come up through. So on the next, obviously your second piece will match this one. And when I cut that off, I'm going to lose some of this radius. So I have to decide whether or not, I don't think I can re-register this in the mill and recut that profile to get the rounded radiuses. And once I cut it on the lathe, it's going to be square. So I would want the two to match this one and the next one. So that's basically what I'm coming up with for a fix for that, to bring that back inboard. Now, of course, there's also the option, too, that if you don't see the problem, see any issues with having it hanging over, and a lot of people don't. I shouldn't say a lot of people, I've gotten feedback from a handful of people off of Instagram or whatever I showed that to, and they're like, that ain't going to bother anything. Not what I'm shooting for, but that certainly is an option. Anyway, if trimming this back and trimming the calipers is an option, and here's the thing is, all of the stuff that I've looked at online, trying to figure out what the hell's going on here, I haven't found anybody doing these rotors with these calipers, because everybody has rotors that have longer tabs that extend in farther, and they have a ton more room here. The whole thing goes in at least another 1/4 inch. So anyway, I think we can fix this, cut this OD, trim off the bottom of those tabs. They shouldn't see any stress, and these pins here, I mean, not enough to break them, that's for sure. Anyway, so the other thing is then I will need to remake the brackets. If it was a slightly different style, I could come in here and I'd end up having to shave about that much off and slot the holes. I'd just have to make new ones if that's the case. For me, the downside is that I already put all the friggin' thread certs in. So I've got to buy new thread certs. So it's just rust from mounting it up, trying to mount it up on there. Anyway, I should be able to redo that. One thing I'm going to do, I won't do it with yours, but I want to change up the design slightly so that I can use them on the 720. And basically I'll end up making these thinner. I can't do that for yours. You're running hard bodies. And I haven't decided yet if I'll run 2 brackets or 1 bracket with a spacer. And the spacer will be like for the hard body, just like you get with the dropped... yeah. Too bad the backside of the spindle's not... oh, yeah, the stock one I wouldn't be able to do too. Okay. Just talking out loud here. Okay, so I guess I will go try to get this video edited and find out which way you want to do it. If you don't have a problem with 150 thou, it's 140. If you don't have a problem with that overlap and you want to run the way it is, you let me know. I start cutting another rotor adapter. And then I just have to put the thread inserts in here, and the parts are pretty much, I think the part's pretty much done at that. I gotta cap all these, and it looks like the bolts you can get for that are 1/4 28. And I also figured out too that the ring, you may not, if you don't follow Instagram, the ring I cut on the backside to register the rotor doesn't line up perfectly, but once we put all of the holes are 0.2501 in here, so once you put a 1/4 inch bolt in there, by the time you put 12 of them around there, I don't think there's going to be any play whatsoever. I looked online and I found that a lot of the rotor hats don't have a registration ring, so that may not be an issue whatsoever as far as getting it concentric with it not matching up on that ring.